Good morning, good morning, good morning, Music Masters members. Terrence Cummins here, the Music Master. Coming with a small video today. I wanted to talk. I had a pretty interesting few days where we've had our Music Masters Inner Circle members and our Musicpreneur Inner Circle members and just some of the people that we've worked with over the last couple weeks, just having different questions, but all leading into the same thing of, Terrence, how did you come up with, this and that, and, with your playing and with your business and, putting things together. And, with the Gospel Academy, I kind of separated from the media company and, the coaching and consulting, but when it comes all down to it, it's really all the same in a sense that when I first started out in music and I was playing bongos and playing drums, it was fun, it was enjoyment, but I knew I wanted to play at a certain level. So, of course, let me take my neck strap off. I would play as much as I possibly could. And you have your times when you're really trying to get there. It's easier. When I was trying to learn how to run a business, I dove into everything. When you're trying to play music, you listen to everything. You try to mimic things. You try to get what you have to get in order to get to the point you want to hear yourself at a level of playing. So I was telling my students on both sides, whether they're academy or agency or the consulting clients, I've told them it's all about, one, making a decision that, hey, this is something that I want to do, and it doesn't matter what's going on or how it's going to filter out. Yeah, it might be days I don't want to practice. Yeah, it might be days I don't want to read music. Yeah, it might be days I don't feel like coming in for coaching. But those are the days that if you're pushing yourself and you push yourself past the limits, you can get to where you want to go. There were many days that I didn't feel like practicing. Sometimes we had to play out in the cold. Sometimes we had to play in a very hot room. Sometimes, I'm not saying all times conditions are bad, but when you really want to get somewhere, it's not always easy. It's not always to a point where it was laid in my lap and we made it. It doesn't necessarily work that way. I think it works in a general sense of knowing where you can get and where you want to go, and then pushing, towards that goal. A lot of my young players kind of come in, and if it's a little hard, I want to quit. And life is not like that at all. It's to a point where if you quit, you lose. And you lose on maybe, hey, you don't get the home that you want. You don't get the job that you want. You don't get the car that you want. Your lights are not on. You don't have you don't have your cell phone. You can't get on Facebook because you didn't pay your bill to get your internet. And that's all a part of losing. But if you persevere, there were times where it was just tough for me on all different scopes. Playing, business, ministry, family. But those were the times that I had to be persistent, because I had made a decision of where I wanted to go, and it didn't matter what was coming towards me. I was going to make sure I made it that way and took it to the next level. So, for my Music Masters Gospel Academy members, we have parents that come in and they'd say, well, how long will it take? And I said, and a lot of times I answer, it's depending on the student, but it depends on the will of the student, the will to win, the will to get there. And I've talked about that in my blog, A Will to Win, A Will to Succeed with Michael Jordan. But then you have to be persistent. You have to, and persistence means, no matter what, you keep going. You keep coming to practice. You keep learning. I've played my horn for years. I've played drums for years. But it doesn't mean I don't get on YouTube. It doesn't mean I don't get on Facebook. It doesn't mean I don't go to a workshop. It doesn't mean I don't listen to a guy who doesn't even play saxophone or drums. He might play guitar or keyboard, or he might sing, and that gives pointers. you can always add to your library. And when you're always adding and you're always learning, you can always develop things. I would have never got into EWI had I not listened to a band director, or to sit up late at night and watch Arsenio Hall and see Everett Harp and Candy Dulfer and Dave Koz, see those guys play with the energy and the vigor, and to see Michael Brecker and David Sanborn, or Michael Brecker and Everett Harp play EWI, and me getting into it. So you always got to surround yourself, because even with just your life, music to me is life, and everything revolves around music. And once it becomes so much inside you, it's easy to pick it up and say, hey, these are the things that I want to do in order to be better. I want to listen to folks. I want to be around folks. And when you're always learning, you're always gaining. And especially, people say knowledge is power, but knowledge is great, but applied knowledge is power. Once you're doing what you heard, once you're doing what you're told, it just makes life a whole lot simpler. Your music life, I mean. And it can apply for your personal life, but right now we're going to talk about music. It makes it a lot easier if you can take those things and then repeat them. Repeat them. Go, when you come into class, go back and take what you got and apply it. We were working with some of our young drummers the other day, and we constantly went over a beat. And it was like, Mr. Cummins, Mr. Terrence, why do we have to keep doing this? I'm saying, we're building our chops. We got to keep pushing at it, pushing it. And sometimes it gets redundant. Sometimes you get tired of it. But it's a part of the game. You got to be able to push through it and see yourself, winning in an aspect that is fantastic, not only for yourself, but for the people that you get an opportunity to play for. Because every time I get ready to play, I always wanted, in my head and in my heart, I wanted to be a blessing for someone, but then I also wanted to be to a point to where it makes them feel good. It makes like listening feel good, and it all comes apart on the back, behind the behind the scenes things of the practicing in my home office, or the sessions that we have that nobody normally sees. They just see the end product, and that comes from years of band and coaching by my mother, and time in church and time with groups. It takes those things to stack together in order to, and because I was persistent and I wanted to do it, it didn't matter about the practice time. It didn't matter about what we were doing. We were trying to get to a certain point. So today we're talking about persistence and how to get there. Keep pushing, young music masters, even in your business. Keep pushing. If you do, it's not only for you and your family, but you have others. You have an obligation for others to bless them as well. And I just wanted to just shoot that, small little thought. Y'all be blessed on today. I'm Terrence Cummins, the Music Master. Enjoy your day. Remember, be persistent. Check me out, facebook.com /Music Masters Inner Circle, and the Music Masters Gospel Academy on Instagram. Of course, our YouTube channel, the Music Master Gospel Academy. I need some subscribers. Somebody link up. We need subscribers. We're trying to build our channel. I got some guests I'm getting ready to interview that I want to bring on and talk to. So we're going to build our channel, and we're going to have a lot of great content. We're going to have a lot of great music on here. I'm developing the channel, and I want you. I'm doing like my mentor Gary V says. I'm throwing the right hook. Subscribe, follow us, link us up on Instagram, Google+, Music Masters Gospel Academy. Be blessed.